We are in the deep dish pizza capital of the world, Chicago, Illinois, at the Navy Pier. And now it's the men's turn to go head-to-head in Event 6. It's been a wild weekend so far where we've seen our top three change every single event. Right now, Justin Allen from CrossFit Bellator is your overall leader, but we will have to hold off the hometown hero, Alex Nelly, to remain on top. Bill, this is the final day. The stakes are high and the pressure is on. How do these guys approach this event knowing that they are getting closer and closer to the end?
It comes down to one thing. It's about go time. They can't hold anything back. Everyone at this point is sore over the last 2 days. You can't think about those things. It's just you have to go on whichever movement you're on. The nice thing I like about Justin Allen right now is he's been consistent the entire time. He hasn't had a bad workout, whereas Kyle Kasperbauer and Alex Nettie both have had something that's kind of kicked them back into the teens somewhere in one of the workouts. Consistency is the key, and that's what's keeping them up at the top.
Your top 12 men are getting set to go. We are in Event 6, so they're going to start with 100 double unders, followed by 50 handstand push-ups, 40 toes to bar, 30 shoulder to overhead, with an axe to bar weighing 160 pounds, and then a 90-foot walking lunge. These 12 men are chasing Nick Bloch from the previous heat at a time of 10:21. Now, it wasn't just the time that was impressive, but when he started his lunges, he never stopped till he got to the finish.
Never put the bar down, and that was impressive. Most people that we'll see, they'll kind of stop at that halfway point. He didn't. He knew what he had to do. Again, it's go time. It's the final day. Leave it all out on the field, and he did that. These guys are going to have to do the same thing. We've had two impressive times with Nick Bloch, also with Andrew Kiechler in the second heat. So there's some times that need to be beat still.
As impressive as that 10:21 was, it's still 2 minutes off the event record set by Josh Bridges in the SoCal regional.
Incredible. I don't know how he went that fast. I was down there with him at the same time, and motoring.
Your top three athletes will be in the center lanes. Justin Allen in 6, Alex Nettie in 7, and Kyle Kasperbauer in 3rd. Bracketing them, Brandon Pistoric and Jared Stevens had a tough time in Event 5. We're going to see if they can bounce back in Event 6. Event 6 is underway. We're going to start off with 100 double unders. On the left side of your screen, Philip Kniep has made his way back into the top 12.
Glad to see him there. Glad to see him.
Now, he may be out of the running for those top 3 just because of points, but he still can have a major effect on how the top 3 will shake out.
Yeah, he's very, very strong. He's either done not so well or extremely well. If he does extremely well here, that's going to definitely put a factor on those top 3 guys, top 4 or 5 guys, on where those points are going to settle out.
After 100 double unders, these men will drop the ropes and slide underneath that plexiglass where they will kick up for 50 handstand push-ups. The standards on those is you'll see when we get there, there'll be a box. It's 34 inches by 24 inches, and the hands must stay within that. The fingers can go outside, but being upside down and going fast, sometimes they can slip out away from you.
And I don't even think it's that they slip out. You want to get as much distance or as much width as you can so the range of motion is shorter. And I tell you what, that feels so close. So I'll be impressed if we see people that don't get no reps.
Drew Heimer from CrossFit OKC, he was first to the wall. But your top 3 men, Justin Allen, Alex Nettie in the red and blue, which I'm a big fan of, he looks great out there, are now going head-to-head on the 50 handstand push-ups. We've seen a few different ways people attack this. We just saw earlier Kyle Kasperbauer was going strict with these handstand push-ups.
The only reason I could think he would do that is just because he has a shorter range of motion. It is fast if you can move that. It's just a lot more tiring. You're expending a lot more energy on your shoulders. Now he's probably going into the tip. Much smarter movement, and again, the longer they can stay on their head, not coming off the wall, the better it's going to be for them.
Alex Nettie and Kyle Kasperbauer are both trying to get that top spot from Justin Allen. Justin Allen has 26 points. Alex Nettie in your screen right there has 31, and Kasperbauer at 33. So those are your top 3 men in the center lane.
I'm seeing a lot of the guys come off the wall and actually walk away from the wall. I would not suggest doing that. You have to stay as close as you can, stay in there as much as you can, but you walk away, that's a lot of time that starts to lapse. Now granted, you want to rest so you can get through it quickly, but go with a smaller group and then go from there.
Kyle Kasperbauer has his judge hand in the air. That means he's got 5 reps left. He will then move on to the 40 toes to bar. We saw yesterday in event 4, Kyle Kasperbauer came out very fast in the hundreds. We found out later he actually wasn't trying to go out that fast, and he paid for it at the end. Now he's coming off first in this event so far. We got to see, is this part of the game plan, or is he letting the emotions take a hold of him a little bit?
You know, I think as an athlete, there is that adrenaline rush. There is that adrenaline rush. You have to kind of control that a little bit. I'm a little curious about his toes to bar right now. He's really opening up. It's a lot more movement. It's an extremely loose movement, so he isn't getting a snap with his hips, unlike Nettie, who is very tight down at the bottom, so he's going to be able to snap out of there. I think that this is a more efficient movement more than what Kyle was doing.
Alex Nettie is the second man to the bar. He's on his 7th rep. Kasperbauer's at 15. Your second and third place men now joined by your first place male, Justin Allen, in lane 6.
So smooth and consistent right there. Look, he's very calm. Spine is nice and aligned. His head isn't moving all over the place. He's pulling his knees up to his chest and then kicking up at the top. Justin Allen still looks great there too. Just getting up to the bar. Expect to take him at least 20 on this first set.
On the right side of your screen in lane 10, Cameron Rosenau from CrossFit OKC has joined them.
And again, you can see the difference right there between Justin Allen's toes to bar and then Kyle Kasperbauer. Kyle is just really swinging himself. It's a very loose position. We know he tore his hands yesterday. I'm sure this is doing some damage to his hands because he's moving so much on the bar. That looks like it hurts to me more than helping.
Kasperbauer in lane 5, Allen in 6, and Nettie in 7. Your top 3 men coming into this last event. And it's Kyle Kasperbauer who continues to push the pace and extend his lead going into the shoulder to overhead. These athletes will have to execute 10 reps on the 10, their next set on the 20, and next final set on the 30. And Alex Nettie, strong and steady, continuously moving, has now joined Kasperbauer on the shoulder to overhead.
This right here is where this race is going to begin. And here we have our top 3 guys going head to head. Again, how much did they use on the handstand push-up? How tore up is that whole front section of their midline for the stability and holding this weight and pressing that weight overhead?
Kasperbauer looks strong because he cranked out 10 in a row. He's followed by Alex Nettie on the right in the blue and Justin Allen in the center between them. They're now joined by Cameron Rosenau in lane 10 from CrossFit OKC. He's been coming on strong lately to shake up the leaderboard as well. Backside of your screen in the white shirt, Philip Kniep. He's a very strong athlete, so the body weight stuff are done. Now you're going to see his strengths displayed here in the shoulder to overhead and those lunges.
You know, right there, Alex Nettie is very slow and controlled, but it's a quick jump, and he actually is walking the bar to the next set of 10. We have a race here. We have a race for sure. And is that midsection going to be blown out for the lunges? You know, it seems like the lunge is just going to be about the butt and the quads, but you have to support that weight up overhead the whole time.
Kasperbauer on his last set of 10. He'll be joined soon by Alex Nettie. Justin Allen in the middle. Kasperbauer has gone 2 sets of 10 on both the 10 and the 20. We're going to see, we're just past that 620 mark. The event record was set by Josh Bridges in SoCal at 8:11. If Kasperbauer can finish and go unbroken with his final 4 reps, there is a shot he could take this event record.
That would be insane if that was possible. I mean, the next closest time to Josh was 1 minute 20 seconds later than that. It's insane right now if Kyle can even make that pace, match that pace.
Kasperbauer is done with his 30. He has about 1 minute and 20 seconds to chase that event record set previously in week 1 by Josh Bridges at a time of 8:11. We're at that 7-minute mark. He must start his lunges from the 30. We've seen 2 athletes go unbroken so far. Kyle Kasperbauer has the ability to do this.
Oh, and you know what? He's taken enough time. I think that's a smart move. Can recompose himself so that he can go straight ahead on this. I think that was a really smart move. He gave himself at least 20 seconds rest. Now let's see what happens.
Kyle Kasperbauer has now begun his 90-foot lunge. Alex Nettie, Justin Allen have just moved to their final set of 10, as well as Philip Kniep in lane 1. But here is the man leading the pack at 7:30, Kyle Kasperbauer, looking strong, trying to beat the time set today by Nick Bloch at 10:21. Though he dropped the bar, we know Nick Bloch went unbroken, but we still have a lot of time before we get that 10-minute.
A lot of time left. And you know what? Even in this lunge, we have these guys that are just finishing up their shoulder to overhead. They can still catch them. You have some tall athletes out there with a nice long lunge. They can make up a lot of ground on Kyle right here.
Now, in lane 9, the man who snuck up on all of us in event 4 has just snuck up on the rest of the pack again. Duke Burke has finished his set of 30, so he will be the third man onto the lunges because Alex Nettie has just started his final 90-foot descent. Your leader, Kyle Kasperbauer, just passed the halfway mark. We're at 8:30. Alex Nettie in second, and Duke Burke has started his lunges. Philip Kniep is done as well in lane 1. So we're having a battle for this second place position because it looks like Kyle Kasperbauer is going to take this heat.
You know, Duke Burke is moving up. He was solid yesterday. He kind of came out of nowhere. He's moving himself up into a great position right now.
Duke Burke has now passed Alex Nettie. Alex Nettie has picked up the bar. They are now going step for step. It'll be about who can hang on the most. Alex Nettie, knowing Duke just dropped it, Kyle Kasperbauer has yet to finish. If he's not careful, Alex Nettie can sneak up and take this.
We can get a shot of, next time we see Alex Nettie here, I want you to notice how long his stride is.
Kasperbauer, a few steps left to go. We're at 9:20. He'll have one more, and he will take this heat, and he will take this event. Kyle Kasperbauer will win with an unofficial time of 9:28. The battle is now for second. Jared Stevens has yet to put the bar down since he finished. With Alex Nettie and Duke Burke, there is a battle for second place. It'll be all about who does not put down the bar. Right now it looks like Alex Nettie, but it's too close to call. Be first to the pad, and it looks like Duke Burke out of lane 9 again will take these guys.
You know, it's just about moving. You put the bar down, you can't stop. You got to get on that pad, and that's exactly what he did. That was a huge race for him right there. Gigantic job.
Your overall leader, Justin Allen, he has fallen behind. He had a small lead on 2 and 3 with about 5 and 8 points. So we're going to see a little bit of a shakeup here if he can't finish in time, because he's now fallen behind Nick Bloch that won earlier in this heat. So he'll be finishing around 5th and 6th. So we're going to see some changes again in the top of this leaderboard.
And I think for Justin Allen, he had a little bit of a pad there, about 5 or 6 points going into this. But again, you know, you don't want to fall too far behind. That was a tough workout, no doubt, but that race at the end was unbelievable. Kyle Kasperbauer turned it on. And really, he pushed everybody.
Not surprisingly, coming from the 3rd fittest man in the world last year. He was having some troubles earlier, but Brandon Pistoric, he was leading this competition after the first day and a half. He's now trying to finish this. He has a few more steps left. He's currently sitting in 4th place. Jared Stevens put on a great show, capturing about 3rd in this heat. So we're going to see a lot of shift here from not just 1, 2, and 3, but that battle for 4 and 5 as well.
I know with those guys, with Brandon Pistoric and with Jared Stevens, they were really trying to break into that 3rd place spot. Both of them fell out of the top 3. This was an important race for them. Jared had a great finish through there. He really needed that. I'll tell you what, that last showing for Brandon, you can tell he was hurt. He was holding it back quite a bit. His finish is going to hurt his placing definitely.
Kasperbauer needed to have a good event here. Talked about it earlier before this started, sitting in 3rd place. 2 points out of 1st, 5 points out of 2 points out of 2nd, 5 points out of 1st. Being there's still 45 men in this competition, there's a lot of things can change. Again, we're not making cuts this year, which means you have to be on your game at all times.
Yeah, you can't have a bad event. It doesn't matter if, you know, one event didn't go right for you. You can't start sulking about it and blow the rest of them, because there are a lot of points to be had. And as we've seen in the men, it's been really interesting. There has always been a place or two from the earlier heats that are well enough to be in the top heat. So those points are going to be shaken up a lot. It isn't going to be just the people that win this last event, or the last heat.
Cameron Rosenau from CrossFit OKC and his training partner, Drew Heimer, both from the same gym, along with Jenny King. CrossFit OKC is having a strong showing here, but these men just trying to finish. We have a little over 2 minutes left before we hit that 15-minute time cap. Josh Silvernail and John Alexander, lanes 11 and 12, are still on their final shoulder overhead. This workout is hard, especially after the day these athletes had. If you couldn't recover and take care of yourself, you're going to pay for it today.
Yeah, you know, we've seen a lot of the athletes, they go and actually press the bar up over top, but their butt goes back. And that's rough on them. You know, they just don't have that midline stability support anymore.
Cameron Rosenau from CrossFit OKC will finish. There's about 90 seconds, and Drew Heimer from the same gym, he's going to try to finish. He's a very strong athlete, but we see that they could still have trouble with this load.
Again, it's just that support. What happened over the course of the weekend? What did they do here? How many overhead squats did they, or shoulder to overhead presses did they have to redo because they got no rep? They didn't even lock out, or the butt was sticking out. Whichever the issue was, that just puts damage on you for this last, 90 steps or whatever of the lunge.
Drew Heimer closes it out. Just 1 minute left before the time cap. We have Josh Silvernail and John Alexander still on their shoulder to overhead. We have 60 seconds remaining. We had a lot of athletes not finish this workout, so they can still make ground up. And look at these guys. It's like they're doing synchronized lunges throughout the entire event, but they have 45 seconds. We're going to see these guys fight to the end. Again, there's always a competition to be had, and we have a good one right here.
Well, for these guys, what's really nice is that you have someone right next to you, so they're going to drive each other. One is trailing by just a couple feet, so one wants to make up that distance, the other one wants to keep them off, and that's where you get that nice little bit of push at the very end. You need to have that.
John Alexander will be the first one to drop. Josh Silvernail has yet to put the bar down. There's 15 seconds left. You got to think in their head, they just want to keep going until that break. We have 10 seconds to go. John Alexander is going to try to catch up here in the last 5 seconds. And passing that halfway point is important because that actually gives you an extra point across your score. So it's good that Josh did that and John fought for that extra point. They all make a difference. But the man who took this heat and event, Kyle Kasperbauer, the third fittest man in the world from last year's CrossFit Games, came out today in third with that performance.
It's all about consistency, and sometimes it's nice when people aren't watching you, when you're the underdog like that.
We're going to kick it down to Amanda. She's with our heat winner and event winner, Kyle Kasperbauer.
Thanks, guys. Kyle said it's about time I get interviewed here as the winner. Well, congratulations. You won big. Now, I noticed, obviously, at the end, you were taking your time before you started the lunges, during the lunges. You felt safe doing that. Why?
Yeah, I've got one more and feel pretty beat up over the weekend, but I don't know, that's something I have to kind of get over, is having that pretend cushion. But I had a little bit of space, so I took a little bit of time, made sure I got the reps, made sure they counted, and finished strong.
All right, one more event after this.
Yeah.
And you want to go to the games again, of course, third fittest man from last year. What do you think you need to do?
I need to work on everything, but in terms of the last event, just finish it. Make sure all the reps count, 4-inch of motion, and just going out on top.
All right, Kyle, nice job. Good to talk to you. Bill and Chase.
Thanks, Amanda. Event 6 complete, leaving just one more obstacle standing in the way of our top athletes in the top of the podium.